Welcome to the deep dive. We're looking at something pretty fundamental to your everyday comfort today, your shoes. More specifically, a particular design aspect,
Right.
the straight last.
Exactly. We're going to break down what that actually means and maybe more importantly, figure out which kinds of feet really, benefit from this ship.
Okay, so we've gathered info from, well, shoemaking basics, foot health resources, all to get a clear picture of these straight last shoes.
Right. The goal here is simple. Define them, point out their key features, and help you understand if this design might be a good match for your feet.
Let's start with that term, last.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people might not be familiar. What exactly is a shoe last?
Yeah, good starting point. Think of the last as the sort of hidden blueprint for the shoe. It's a foot-shaped mold, usually wood or plastic these days.
Okay.
And the entire shoe gets built around this mold. It determines the shape, the volume inside, the toe box curve, everything. And crucially for us today, whether the shoe is straight or curved.
So the different lasts mean different fits.
Yeah.
Got it.
Totally.
So our mission today really is to understand what makes a straight last shoe different, its characteristics, and help you figure out if it's the right fit for you. I mean, have you ever put on shoes and they just felt perfect? Or maybe just wrong?
Oh, absolutely. And the last is often that unseen factor making the difference. Understanding the straight last can give you real insight into why some shoes work for you and others, well, don't.
All right, let's dive in then. What defines a straight last shoe? What should we be looking for, visually or structurally?
Okay, so the core idea is minimal or even zero curve from the heel to the toe. If you flip the shoe over, look at the sole, and imagine drawing a line from the middle of the heel straight up to the middle of the toe box. If that line is pretty much straight without a big inward or outward sweep, you're probably looking at a straight last. It creates this very symmetrical kind of neutral base.
A straight line, heel to toe. Clear image. So how does that compare to, like, most regular shoes?
Well, most other shoes are built on lasts with some curve. You hear terms like curved last or semi-curved.
Right.
Those often follow the natural inward curve of the arch side of your foot.
Aye.
A straight last, though, it deliberately avoids that curve. It's all about that linear profile on the bottom.
So symmetry and neutrality are key. Beyond just the shape, what other design features often come with straight last shoes?
Well, a big one is a wider, more stable base. Because it is straight, there's often more sole contacting the ground.
Okay, more ground contact.
Yeah, and that helps spread your weight out more evenly across your whole foot. That extra stability is a major plus for a lot of people. Gives you a more grounded feeling.
That sounds inherently more supportive. Are there other things working with that wider base, like in the arch?
Uh-huh. You often find extra support built into the arch area, maybe in the midsole or insole. Manufacturers might use denser materials like EVA cushioning right there to give that extra reinforcement and support your arch as you walk.
Okay, wider base, reinforced arch. What about the front? The toe box, is that usually different too?
Generally, yeah. To go with that stable platform, straight last shoes often have a wider toe box, more room up front.
Makes sense.
And that lets your toes spread out more naturally, which is, really helpful if you've got issues like bunions, less pressure, less squeezing.
Right, bunions definitely need that extra space. Any other design quirks?
Sometimes you'll find they have a bit more depth inside the shoe, too. Extra vertical space.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
It's mainly useful if you wear custom orthotics. It gives you room to put them in without making the shoe feel tight or messing up the fit.
Okay, so for key design features, we've got stability from the wide base, often arch support, roomy toe box, and maybe extra depth for orthotics. Makes sense. Now, the big question, who really benefits from these? What foot shapes or conditions are ideal?
The classic examples are people with flat feet or those who tend to overpronate.
Right, that inward rolling.
Exactly. For them, the straight last provides that stable foundation. And combined with the arch support, it helps control that excessive motion, keeps the foot and ankle better aligned.
So it guides the foot, prevents that collapse. What about other common foot problems?
Well, like we said, bunions. That wider toe box is a huge relief, reduces pressure on the joint.
Definitely.
And simply, people with naturally wide feet often just find a better, more comfortable fit in a straight last shoe because they tend to be built broader overall.
Okay, so flat feet, overpronators, bunions, wide feet. Any other groups?
Yeah, anyone needing extra stability, really, maybe seniors or people with balance concerns, that wider, more grounded base can genuinely help improve balance and reduce fall risk.
That's a really important point. Stability equals better balance. What about pain, like plantar fasciitis or similar issues?
It can help, potentially. Things like plantar fasciitis heel pain or metatarsalgia ball of foot pain, even Morton's neuroma,
Mhm.
can sometimes feel better because the weight is distributed more evenly. And the foot's in a more natural position. It reduces stress on those specific spots.
That's encouraging. And what about folks with, say, diabetes or circulation issues?
Also potentially beneficial. The reduced pressure points, the wider fit, the potential to accommodate swelling,
Mm.
it all helps prevent complications and just promotes better overall foot health in those cases.
Wow. Okay. So it's not just a niche thing. It covers a pretty wide range of needs.
Yeah.
Now, for someone listening, how do they actually tell if a shoe has a straight last? Is there an easy check?
Yeah, there's a pretty simple visual trick. Just flip the shoe over, look at the bottom, the outsole,
Okay.
and imagine drawing that line we talked about, center of the heel straight to the center of the toe box. If that line looks basically straight, no major curve,
Uh-huh.
it's likely a straight last shoe.
Flip it and draw the line mentally.
Yeah.
Got it. Simple enough. Now, this all sounds very modern, very practical, but you mentioned history. What's the deal there?
This is the really surprising bit. Historically, like way back, straight lasts were the standard.
Really?
Yeah, from maybe the late 1500s right into the early 1800s, shoes were made on straight lasts, and they weren't even left or right foot specific.
Wait, the same shoe for both feet? That sounds awful.
Right. Because the lasts were symmetrical, the shoes were too. People apparently had to swap which shoe they wore on which foot just to make them wear down evenly.
No way.
Mhm.
Swap your shoes around.
Yep. It wasn't until sometime in the 19th century that mirrored left and right lasts became common, leading to the anatomically shaped shoes we know today.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So they've evolved, but straight lasts clearly still have a place.
Mhm.
Where do we see them most often now?
You still find them quite a bit in modern athletic shoes, especially ones designed for motion control.
Okay. For stability.
Exactly. For runners or athletes who need to limit excessive foot movement, like overpronation, during their sport.
Makes sense. Any specific brands or models people might recognize?
Sure. Ultra is a good example. They're pretty popular with trail runners. Right. A lot of their shoes, like the Lone Peak model, use a straight last. It appeals to runners who overpronate or just folks who like that stable, natural feel on uneven ground.
Ultra Lone Peak. Good example.
Yeah.
Anywhere else we might find them commonly?
Yeah, another brand worth mentioning is Propet. They focus heavily on comfort and foot health and offer several straight last options.
Okay.
For men, there's the Propet Ultima strap, kind of sporty, good support, adjustable strap. And the Propet Ultima, more of a casual walker, still has that stability, plus a removable insole for orthotics.
And for women?
They have the Ultima for women too, leather athletic shoe, straight last, wide toe box, good for bunions. And the Ultima X for women, which is lighter, more mesh, still has the straight last benefits, but in a sportier package.
So Propet sounds like a key player if you're specifically looking for this type of shoe. Okay, we've covered who benefits, how to spot them, where to find them. Let's circle back. Why does this matter? What's the real impact on foot health, maybe overall well-being?
It can be pretty significant.
Right.
By promoting a more natural, neutral foot position.
Straight last shoes can really contribute to better foot health long-term. When your foot's aligned and supported properly, it can actually improve your posture and maybe even reduce strain on your knees, your hips. It's all connected, you know.
Right, the kinetic chain, if
Mhm.
the foundation's off.
Exactly. And like we said, that stable base can improve balance, reduce fall risk, which is huge for many people. So choosing footwear that works with your foot shape, like a straight last if it fits your needs, is really an investment in your comfort, your mobility, your overall health.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway for everyone listening about straight last shoes?
The key thing to remember is they're designed for stability, support, and even weight distribution. They're especially good for certain foot types, flat feet, overpronators, bunions, and anyone who just needs or wants extra stability.
And just knowing that different last shapes exist and they suit different feet, that awareness alone can be a big help when you're shoe shopping. Absolutely. Understanding if your feet might do better with that neutral, stable platform of a straight last could make a massive difference to your daily comfort and long-term foot health.
So maybe take a second today. Think about your own feet, their shape. Are your current shoes working with them? Or maybe against them? Could a straight last be part of the answer for you? Definitely food for thought for your next pair.
And hey, if you're really curious about your specific feet, talking to a good footwear specialist or even a podiatrist is always a great idea. They can give you personalized advice.
Excellent point. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into straight last shoes today. Until next time, here's to happy, healthy feet.